Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the 99th PGA Championship at Quail Hollow Club. Pleased to be joined by 2017 PGA champion Justin Thomas. Justin today posted a closing 3 under 68 to win the championship by 2 shots. His round today included 6 birdies, 3 bogeys, and a bunch of memorable moments. So, Justin, let's get to it. It's a dramatic closing round. Maybe tell us a little bit about your back nine and how you tackled the green mile after you got a little bit of a gap there.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. It had to be an unbelievable watching day in terms of spectating and sitting at home watching on TV. I mean, I forget what hole it was. I think walking up to 12 green, there was maybe 5 of us at 7 under, and I had no idea it was that close. I mean, I kind of thought it was Hideki and I were, at around 7 or 8 or whatever he was, or 6 or 7, and then some other guys. And then I saw P. Reed was playing well. I saw Rick was kind of making a run. I saw Francesco was up there, and then obviously Kiz and Stroud behind us. So to see that was kind of crazy. And then that chip in on 13 was probably the most berserk I've ever gone on the golf course. I'm kind of interested to see how I looked for that, but. Yeah, it was nice. I hit a bad tee shot on 14, but got out of there with a good par, and then I hit a good little pitch after a chunk to 5-iron, and just missed the putt on 15. So I played 16, 17, 18 well all week, I felt like, and it wasn't like, obviously I'm nervous, I want to win, but I was a lot more comfortable and calm than I thought I would be. So just kind of going through those holes, knowing that I've done this a million times. I know that's cliche and everyone says it, but and Jimmy did an unbelievable job of keeping me calm. So it was felt like it was a great team win for us.
Now your lineage is pretty well chronicled. Son of a PGA professional, grandson of a PGA professional. I have to think that this is a moment your family had been working toward for a long time.
Yeah, it was something that, obviously as a kid growing up, being a golf fan, you want to win all the majors, you want to win any major. And for me, the PGA was definitely had a special place in my heart, and maybe a special drive, I guess you could say. Like I said, I want to win every tournament I play in. I want to try to win every major. But at the end of the day, this was really cool for this to be my first one and have my dad here. And I know Grandpa was watching at home. I was able to talk to him, and that was pretty cool. It's just a great win for the family, and it's a moment we'll never forget, all of us.
That's terrific. All right, let's hit the floor here for some questions, please. Let's start far right through the trophy, Justin. You got Steve, number 1, please.
Were you as in control of your emotions as you've ever been in tight situations, and what was the key behind all that?
I'm going to try to look at you the best I can here. I definitely feel like I was. I don't know. I just had an unbelievable calmness throughout the week, throughout the day. I hate to say, I hate to kind of admit this, but I'm never one to. I'm kind of superstitious and weird about the night before or when I get in contention about people saying stuff. And, like, oh, let's go out and get it done tomorrow. Let's go do this. But I had just the most comforting, easygoing, and I really, truly felt like I was going to win. I remember, my girlfriend was supposed to fly out at about 7, and I was like, you need to change your flight to later because I don't know. I just feel like I don't want you to miss this. And I feel like I'm going to get it done. And she knows she's the first person to tell you that I don't want to talk about golf when I get in that situation. So I don't know. I just was very confident. I'm sure my dad and Jimmy could tell you the same thing. I just didn't get flustered. I felt like I just kind of kept everything in front of me. I know how hard doubles are to make up out here, so I tried to avoid those, and was able to make a lot of birdies, so it was great.
Let's go over here on the left, number 2, please.
Justin, right here in the front. Yeah.
Sorry.
So how did you keep your composure after 1, which could have been a disaster?
Yeah.
And on 13, did you know that you were pretty much in the lead right before the chip in?
Yeah, 1 was bad. That was a bummer because obviously the first tee shot I would say is the most nervous a lot of us are in the day. I mean, that's a big moment. Second touch group, major, have a great chance to win. And I mean, I absolutely just blistered a drive. I mean, I picked up my tee. I thought it was perfect, and it was in the bunker, and it's like 350 to that bunker, and I didn't think I could get there. So I was a little bummed to walk up there and see that. But, I mean, I had an easy bunker shot that first one. I just didn't have a very good lie, and I was trying to kind of chunk and run it and obviously thinned it. But, I mean, I couldn't – through 4 shots on that hole, I pretty much couldn't have drawn up a worse start, you know, to my Sunday at the PGA Championship. But felt great with my putter all week. I stayed calm. I was like, you know, I can still knock this in, and if I don't, I have 17 more holes. It's not like this is a course where being 2 back, I had to go shoot 6 or 7 under. I knew that, you know, 2 or 3 under had a pretty good chance. So after rolling that in, it kind of calmed me down and kept me going. And then that chip on 13, I knew that there's a lot of us around the lead, and that first cut is so tough to chip. I mean, this entire course is tough to chip out of the rough, but that first cut you get, you can really look stupid in a heartbeat because it's all into the grain, and it's really short to where you can just flub it, you can hit it right in front of you, and then if you try to play for that, it can come out hot and you can run it by. So have that chip kind of come out perfectly and exactly like I saw, and that was a roar like I've never experienced.
Let's go to number 4, please.
Just right here. You had that moment with Ricky and Jordan coming off the 18th. What does it mean to you to have those guys, your friends, be able to kind of share in this experience with you?
It's awesome, and I think they know that I would do the same for them. It's a cool little friendship we had. I mean, I know Ricky was a couple groups in front, and Jordan was, you know, probably through 9 or something when I finished. But I just can't believe Bud Cauley stayed around. He's one of my best friends. You know, we lived together in Florida, and I was about 10 minutes from going to tee off, and he was walking off to go sign a scorecard. So he hung around for an entire 18 holes just to stick around and not knowing what could happen. So, but I think that kind of shows, you know, where the game is right now, where all of us are. I mean, we obviously all want to win. We want to beat the other person, but if we can't win, we at least want to enjoy it with our friends. And I think that we'll all be able to enjoy this together, and I know it's going to make them more hungry, just like it did me for Jordan at the British or whatever you want to say.
Number 3 on the right, Doug, please.
There seems to be moments of good fortune for any major winner. I wonder if you could kind of go through the tee shot on 10 that bounced into the fairway and the putt that eventually fell. And secondly, the kind of the degree of difficulty on the up and down at 16 that really kind of puts you in control.
Yeah, 10 was kind of funny. I was joking with Jimmy because I hit a drive. I mean, obviously I pulled that drive, but with me being able to take it over that bunker, I kind of need to skirt that tree to be able to get it up there and pretty far to you know, because it runs out in the right. So, and I hit a drive pretty similar on Friday, I think it was. I just pulled it. It was 3 or 4 yards left of the fairway, going to be fine. Hit that same tree and kicked about 30 yards in the trees. So I feel like that tree kind of owed me one. And to walk up, I talk to my ball a lot, and when anytime it's going somewhere I didn't wish it would, I probably am saying get lucky or something, and I said that in the air, you know, I'm like, get lucky, just spit it out for me, please, and it spit it out and right in the middle of the fairway, and I told Jimmy that's why you ask, and and the putt was pretty funny too, just because I didn't even see it go in. I was more so looking at Jimmy asking how does that not go in, and because it looked like it was a weird read because the grain was in and off the right in the beginning. It looked like a pretty straight putt, and then the second half it was in off the right, or in off the left, sorry. So I kind of had it, I played it straight. We had it going a little left and a little right, and it just never went right. It kept going left. And as soft as it was going, I felt like the grain had to take it. And when I honestly, I swear, when it got there, I was like, this ball has to go in. There's no way that it can stay there. And I threw a little fit to try to, you know, to see what would happen, and it just was. I was upset that I had a really easy up and down and maybe let the opportunity go. And yeah, the gravity took over, and the roar was pretty loud, so that was pretty cool.
Let's go to 1 right here. Karen, please.
Justin, in the phone call with your
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
The phone call with your grandfather, what did you say to him, and what did he say back?
He just said, yeah, you're something else, and this is the first of many. So I love my grandparents. I love my grandpa so much, and spent so many times with him on the golf course, and he's watched me play and win so many junior golf tournaments that it would have been great if he could have been here. I mean, I understand he couldn't, and but I'm just glad that he could watch it, and we can share this together. And I know we'll have some fun, when I see him again, hopefully soon.
Let's go 2 and then 3. 2, please, right here.
Justin, it may be a little awkward with him sitting in the front row, but how old were you the first time you beat your father on the golf course?
No clue. Neither one of us have no idea.
Was it so? It wasn't a big moment. It wasn't something.
It should have been, but for some reason, that's like something every kid remembers. But for some reason, neither one of us know when it was, and I know it doesn't happen anymore. That's for sure. He doesn't beat me anymore. But it was just something. Sorry, Dad.
Upset
My bad.
right there.
It just was. I don't know. For some reason, we don't remember.
Let's go on the right side here, number 3.
Hey, Justin, can you just sort of maybe talk about what emotions were like for you at Erin Hills after Sunday's disappointment, and what did you take away from that maybe you were able to do differently today and got you this?
I mean, the emotions were indifferent because, I didn't lose the tournament by any means. Brooks won it. Even if I would have played, I would have had to play just as well on Saturday or on Sunday as I did on Saturday to shoot 67 or better. I mean, it was windy. It was tough. It was a Sunday of a major. First time in the final group and a U.S. Open, let alone. Some great players trying to win. So, I mean, it was a bummer. I mean, I wish I would have played better and at least had a chance in the back 9, but it is what it is. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say I learned a lot because I just didn't really have a chance to win. After 13 or 14 holes left, I was so far back that I just had to do something miraculous at that point. But anytime you can play and be there, you just learn little things without even knowing it. And just being patient. And I probably could have been more patient and finished, 5th or 6th instead of 8th or 9th, whatever I finished. And I guess you could say patience, but that's about as, I'd say every professional golfer would tell you that is very important. But, there's a reason we say it.
Straight ahead here, number 1.
Justin, you've already won a few times this year. You've shot 59, you shot 63 at the US Open. But how do you feel you'll be talked about after this win?
Well, I know that a major champion will never be taken away from, after my name. And hopefully hopefully I'm going to win some more, plenty more, a lot more, whatever. But I know you can't get to 2 unless you get 1. So I'm excited to have this, and it's incredible. It was an awesome day. It was a great experience. It's huge for me. I mean, who knows what'll happen, but I mean, it's just big for the year. We're getting to the end of the year. We're getting to crunch time and in the FedEx Cup and the playoffs, and this puts me in a lot better position than I was before the week started. And I'm just excited for that, I'd say, more than anything.
Straight back 2, please.
Hey, Justin, congratulations. Do you care to share, on the outside we know it was a relief, but you care to go in detail on your feelings after making a putt on 17?
Relief was probably big. That was one of the best golf shots I've probably ever hit in my life. It's tough because when you get in those moments, that adrenaline, it's so hard to take something off of a club. I had 193 front, 214 hole to a pin that's really brutal, honestly. And I know anything short from the pin yesterday is going to fall off against the collar and, in all honesty, probably going to make bogey. Anything long is going to do the same thing, go up against that collar. And, at that point, I think I had a 1-shot lead. And it just was, I needed to make par. And, Jimmy and I decided I needed to land at about 200 just because that was going to get past that first kind of false edge if I ended up pulling it, and that was going to kind of feed at least to get around 30 feet or so. And it's great. I hit a stock 2-iron or 6-iron at home, 200 yards, and I never even thought about anything but a 7. I'm like, it's just to aim it just inside the right edge of the green, put it back in the stance, and just swing at a 7 because it's not a position to try to finesse something. You're pumped up, you're feeling it, you kind of not full bore, but you want to swing at something, and that was just, I mean, that shot, I'll never forget that vision in my head and it landing and getting closer, and when that putt went in, it was definitely a relief.
Justin, let's go back left 4, please.
Justin, you talked about hole number 10 and the get lucky and the gravity taking over, but was the putt at 9 really kind of the springboard into your back 9? And I mean, sure, you got a little lucky there, but you were all at 10, but you were able to make the chip at 17 and then tee shot at 17. It seemed like it all kicked off with the birdie at 9.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I really, the birdie on 2, I mean, I hit a great putt for par on 3 that I still don't know how it didn't go in. And then I hit a great tee shot on 4, great putt that didn't go in, great tee shot, second shot on 5, great putt that didn't go in. I mean, I played 6 well, played 7 well. So it was, I mean, I had some chances on that front 9, but that's just, again, where I just was, it's a tough course. You just have to, pars are fine. It's not like I was losing ground. I may have been, you know, losing a shot or whatever to the lead, but I mean, no one's going to run away from you at a course like this, or not likely. So I just was, Jimmy kept saying, you know, keep hitting our shots. You know, something good's going to happen. And you just sometimes get those feelings. And that putt on 9, I had a feeling I was going to make it, just kind of almost try to miss it left because it breaks so much right. And yeah, that I guess you could say that one springboarded me a little bit.
Far right, number 3.
Justin, you've talked about you know, this calmness that you had all week. I'm just curious if there was a moment out there or a stretch out there where you were nervous. If so, what was it? And secondly, at what point did you sort of feel like the tournament was yours?
I mean, I was a lot more calm than I thought I'd be, to be honest, just because I know how I've felt when I've had a chance to win a PG, just a regular tour event. And I mean, any tour event's a big deal to win, but to win a major is obviously another level. And so I was a lot more calm than I thought I'd be. I mean, I thought I would be very, very shaky. I mean, I remember at one point I looked at my hand and it was a little bit shaky, but I mean, it's why you play. That, you know, you play for those nerves. And as funny as it is, I tried to eat a lot today and drink a lot. I mean, obviously it was beyond hot. But walking to 17 green, I had some snacks in my bag and I was eating it and I literally almost choked. Like I started coughing and I was like, "This, you've got to be like, am I really gonna like choke? Like, is this a sign to come? I don't know what's gonna happen." And it's funny the things that you think about, you know, when you get in that situation. But I mean, once I got on, I walked up 18 green after I hit my second shot. I was kind of walking to see for my third shot, and I saw Kiz had bogeyed 17 and had a 3-shot lead. And although that rough's tough, I knew I could gouge it on the green. But once I got it on the green, I had a pretty good idea that I could scrape it in from there.
Go 1 and then 3, 1 straight ahead.
Justin, you've had some special opportunities to be at the PGA as a youngster. Take me back to Valhalla and what you gained from that experience.
It's as crazy as it is. I mean, to have that, I mean, that's kind of the first memory for me in terms of live and being at a golf tournament. And I mean, that I wanted to play professional golf. I mean, any kid, whatever they're doing, they think they're going to be the best at it. They want to be the best at it, whatever it is. But being at the PGA that week and just hearing the roars and just hearing everything and what Tiger was producing out there, I mean, that was him, and that week was the reason that I was like, okay, this is really what I want to do. And then to have him basically cheering me on, how he's been this week or the last couple of days, is it's not, I don't want to say a coincidence, but it's bizarre. It really is. I was 7 years old and watching it in the clubhouse, and he hits the putt on camera, and before it can fall in on TV, I can just hear the roar outside, and I'll never forget that. So it's crazy to be sitting up here now after watching him do his Champions Toast and hoping that I'm there one day, and I am.
Number 3, please.
How did you feel about your game walking off Saturday? What did you guys do during that range session, and did you leave that kind of reinstated thinking, I can win this now?
Yeah, and that's why I went out there. I mean, you don't want to end your day on a negative thought, or you don't want to be upset leaving the course. And yesterday probably won me the tournament. You could argue any day or any shot, but I didn't have it yesterday. I was just kind of getting it around, but I was just missing the right spots. I was just trying to get it on the green, and I was trusting my putting. And to go around here 4 days without a 3-putt is a huge accomplishment to me, or within myself, that I kind of had a mini goal. So to do that is great, but just worked on kind of hitting some cuts on my irons. I wasn't doing it very well yesterday, and then just worked on driving it because it was so imperative out here to hit the fairways, and I was able to do so a little bit more today.
Straight back, number 1, please.
Justin, your friendship with Jordan Spieth is obviously well documented, but was there ever a sense of frustration watching him win majors, and what's your feeling now that you're the one sitting here with a major championship?
Frustration probably isn't the right word. Jealousy definitely is. It's not, there's no reason to hide it. I would say they're jealous that I won today. I was jealous that Sergio won, that Brooks won, that Jordan won. I want to be doing that, and I wasn't. And there's only 4 of them in a year, and to be one of them, a major champion, is really cool. And it's just nice to have one, But at the same time, I honestly, it was weird, but it kind of calmed me down this morning. And like I said, I was confident, but I was thinking about it. I'm like, man, there's some unbelievable players out here that have only won 1 major, and it took them a while to do it. And there's no reason for me to hang my head if I don't get it done today. All I can do is give it everything I have. If I stay in the moment, if I have a good game plan, if we stick to that game plan, and I don't give any shots away for mental mistakes, and I don't get it done, then I don't. But for some reason that calmed me down, knowing that a lot of other players hadn't done it. To win a major at 24 is pretty cool saying it. And obviously it's just an unbelievable week and experience.
Let's go to Jeff on the right around the trophy again.
Today was a bit of a tough grind out there for everybody. And then today there were fireworks. Players were chipping in. There's birdies at 4, all kinds of stuff going on. Did you sense anything in the setup that allowed the players to do a little bit more today?
Just rain. Anytime that you can get softer conditions, the golf course is going to be easier. It doesn't matter what course it is. You look at years at Augusta, the scores have been really low. I know they're sub-air, they can get them firmer, but at the end of the day, when there's no rain and the greens are really firm, then it's really difficult. And then when the greens are softer, we're pretty good at golf, so it's a lot easier when the ball isn't going to go as far as when it lands, because we feel like we have more control over it. So, and when you get as tough of greens and around the greens as it is out here, softness is going to allow us to hit more greens and get it closer to where we want. So I would say that had pretty much all to do with it.
Over here on the left, Justin, 2.
Hey, Justin. How did it feel to have Hideki breathe down your neck all day outside of the other players? You guys were going back and forth pretty much. And secondly, how does it feel to represent the state of Kentucky to win this major?
Yeah, I'm beyond excited to take the Wanamaker Trophy home to Louisville and share it with, some of my friends that I'm still close with in Louisville and places in high school, whatever it may be. But, the city of Louisville, state of Kentucky, the support that I have at home is, it's unbelievable. It really is. And it killed me not being able to play the PGA at Valhalla. And that was a huge, huge goal of mine that year. But I wasn't able to do it. And that definitely made me hungrier to not have to worry about qualifying or getting a pick or whatever, sponsor pick or whatever it is anymore. But it's in terms of Hideki, I just was focused on my game. I was focused on hitting my shots. We kind of were our separate ways. I was with Jimmy. He's with Dice K, and we're doing our own thing. And he's a great player. He's playing like Hideki. You don't. It's almost like you can't really say anymore that he's on a hot streak. He's pretty much on about a year-long hot streak right now. So I would say he's just really good. And but I knew that. I'm confident in my really good golf, and I feel like it's good enough beat a lot of people. So why why think differently today?
Let's go number 3 and then 1, please.
Congratulations, Justin.
Thank you.
So much of the attention coming into this championship was on your buddy Jordan. Do you kind of like flying in under the radar? Was it better for your game this week, do you think?
It was fine. I mean, it's one of those things that it may get to some people or me a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's I mean, it is what it is. We're just trying to play golf and play it as well as we can. So I didn't really think too much about being under the radar, this or that. I just was trying to win a golf tournament.
Couple more here. Let's go to number 1, please.
Did you know you had a 3-shot lead on 18, and was there a discussion with your caddy about what club to hit off the tee and how to play the hole?
Not really. It's, I mean, it was 2 shots at that point, and I mean, I knew a par would be good enough, but it's something we've really worked on this year is kind of finding a go-to shot, finding something that if I'm not driving it well or if I need to hit a fairway, what I can do. It's just kind of a bullet driver, tee it really low. And my miss with the 3-wood, if I'm trying to draw it, is left. And then sometimes it's a heel spinny slice to the right. So 3-wood never entered my mind in that sort of situation. I mean, I knew a driver teeing it that low, my dispersion was going to be a lot tighter with that. And I mean, obviously, the first couple of days I'm aiming it up the left side of the fairway because that shot usually cuts. But today I'm just aiming it at the scoreboard and trying to hit a straight one if it cuts like it did. I mean, you know, that drives 3 yards in the fairway and whatever. But at the end of the day, I just needed to keep it right of that hazard and just try to get in 5 or better.
3 on the right, Doug.
What's the most lasting lesson your father ever gave you?
What lesson?
The most lasting thing, lesson-wise, that your father ever gave you?
Putting me on the spot here. I mean, just enjoy it, honestly. It's so cliche and probably really far from what you were looking for. But, but I mean, but he didn't just mean golf. He meant anything. It's whether I decided to play another sport, which was not going to happen, or decided to be a club pro, or decided to be a teacher, or whatever I decided to be, just enjoy it. And I was so lucky to have very supportive and parents that didn't push me, that didn't, kind of force me to play golf. I mean, obviously, I'd say it was set up for golf to kind of be in my bones and to grow up to play that, but they treated me the same, whether I shot 66 or 76, and I mean, they're a huge reason and the reason why I'm sitting up here right now.
Quick follow. Do you remember specifically any of the kind of goofy games that you guys played when you were a kid?
Yeah, we used to always play for $1. We go play 9 holes like late at night, or probably 7 or 8 o'clock when my dad was done teaching, picking the range, working, whatever. And I would be at the range, at the course, hitting balls and practicing all day. And we got to the point where I was competitive enough that I'd probably played men's tees maybe, or the ladies' tees, I don't know. But I was at a young age, but I've always been competitive, but I wanted to beat him. He wanted to beat me because my dad was playing enough back then to where he was a good player. And so we'd play for $1, and it was pretty heated out there. And I'm a pretty sore loser, so I did not handle it well when I lost and had to give up $1. It probably came from my dad's pocket anyway. So, and but yeah, that was I don't know what age that stopped when it wasn't competitive anymore on the other side. But we've always had chipping contests, putting contests, and now we're just kind of enjoying the ride together.
All right, let's wrap it up here over number 2, please.
Justin, after you won in Hawaii, you said you set your goals pretty high for the year. How are they looking right now?
Let you know when the year's over.
Okay, terrific. Justin, please enjoy your night and welcome to the ranks of being a PGA champion.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
guys. Appreciate it.